All right. Good morning. This is RJ. It's Saturday, May 20th. My flight's delayed here at the San Francisco airport, and I just had some time, so I thought I'd put together some thoughts in response to, not even response, I was on a YouTube discussion with Good Mother. Well, I'm going to just read what I wrote here. The bottom line is Good Mother asked a question about changing beliefs. And I immediately said it's only in trauma that a person will change their beliefs, because creates the environment to be uncomfortable where you will change your beliefs. And I started thinking about that, and I said, I don't know if that's true. So this is what I wrote. This is the article. Does trauma change belief? On May 17th, 2023, I was on a YouTube discussion with Good Mother when she asked me how to change a person's beliefs. My immediate response was, only in trauma will a person change their beliefs, because when a person is comfortable, there is no reason to change. But once tragedy happens, like a divorce, bankruptcy, sickness, or death, etc., occurs, people are humbled and opened to new ideas. Before that, our pride and arrogance are the resistance and frontline defenses to anything that will question what we believe to be true. As the production concluded, I began to drive and started to think. I asked myself, is that true? Is trauma really the only time a person will change their faith and what they believe to be true? I wrote a book titled Belief, where I define, unpack, and uncover beliefs of faith, beliefs or faith. Faith and belief are synonyms, and they can be used interchangeably. But what I never really did was I got into how to change beliefs. And that's what I'm going to attempt to do here. Trauma is defined as an experience, either physical or mental, that causes severe anxiety or mental distress. There is no question that trauma or any kind of pain or even disruption to our beliefs will cause us to pause and wake up from our subconscious fog that we are generally living in. But trauma can either serve to wake us up to a new reality or serve to reinforce an existing belief. So trauma per se is not a guarantee that we will change our beliefs. For example, let's take the trauma of a divorce. When a person gets divorced, their world changes drastically. One person will take that event and use it to reevaluate their beliefs and take a good hard look at themselves to see where they went wrong. They take complete ownership of the situation and start to make the necessary changes to what they understand to be true. Another person will use the same traumatic event of a divorce and double down on what they believe. There's no introspection, only an outward expression of attack, and the event serves only to reinforce what they already erroneously believe. These are typically the ones who have been married and divorced multiple times and say things like, all women are bad, or all men are bad, and then fail to see that the only common denominator in all of the failed marriages was themselves. Same trauma, the divorce, with very different outcomes. I therefore conclude that although trauma causes emotional distress, there is no guarantee that it will affect what a person believes or what they understand to be true. The fundamental idea, however, is that humility, or the willingness to look at yourself, be open to new information and perspectives, is necessary for beliefs to change. A person may coerce or force a person to change their mind against their will, but they are still of the same opinion and will eventually revert back to what they truly believe. Desire or hope in the future seems to be a motivating force which propels a change in beliefs. Take a high school student, for example. He has a desire to make more of himself, so he decides to enroll in college. Now, college may be hard, and one could argue that it is a traumatic experience being away from home for the first time, but in reality, it's a free will choice to go and to learn something new that he thinks will help him. The desire to learn something new has in it the seeds of humility, because it presupposes that he doesn't know everything and there is something new he can learn that will help him have a better future. So it seems that desire, or what a person wants, is the driving force behind changing belief. Hope for the future is what will put a new belief in action. Then feedback, or the results, will serve to reinforce the new belief, just as a lack of positive results will cause the new belief to die. Again, trauma can cause an environment in which a person has the desire to change, but trauma is not necessary or a guarantee. Simply wanting something better or eliminating pain will also serve as the motivation for new information and ultimately the potential for changing beliefs. Two other aspects of changing belief must now be introduced. Perspective and truth serves as tools we use that arrange new information into what we call understanding. Truth is simply the way things actually are. The truth is undeniable. You cannot escape truth. Or as Winston Churchill famously said, truth is incontrovertible. Malice may attack it, ignorance may deride it, but in the end, there it is. Or as our founding father Thomas Jefferson said, honesty is the first chapter in the book of wisdom. Truth and honesty are hard things for many people to grasp because we are emotional creatures. We skew information to fit our preconceived beliefs and values. When we were born, we accepted every new piece of information from all of our five senses, and as we grew older, we began to filter things that were not valuable to us, and our desires were ignored or discounted to things that were. Well, those things were given priority in our lives. See, I have a 2011 Jeep Wrangler Sahara. I love my Jeep. I take care of it, modify it, talk with other Jeep lovers. I even attend Jeep events. I give extra attention to Jeeps because it's important to me. I see it as valuable and it interests me. A good friend of mine, however, he doesn't mind Jeeps. He even likes Jeeps. But he's a pilot and he owns a small single-engine aircraft which he treats like I treat my Jeep. He does not pay attention to Jeep things just like I don't pay attention to plane things like he does. Why? Because our values and desires are different. I guess you could also add opportunity to this list as well. If something is so far out of reach or viewed as impossible to achieve, you will not give it any attention and therefore do little to alter what you believe because it doesn't matter. I may have an interest in becoming a movie star or a recording artist, but I understand that isn't going to happen. And this leads me to the idea of perspective. Jim Rohn said the only thing worse than not reading a book is not reading a book and thinking it doesn't matter. That is what perspective can do. That one little mental shift, that seeing things different from a different perspective can be the seed that causes all kinds of growth. You don't need to learn anything new. No degrees or diets or workouts were needed. Just one little shift in perspective can motivate you forever to read more. In conclusion, trauma causes turmoil, but it can't change beliefs. Only desire and hope can stimulate you to change your beliefs. It takes truth and perspective to implement the new information and formulate a new belief. It doesn't matter your new belief is better than the old. It doesn't mean that your new belief is better than the old or that the new belief is even true, but you understand it to be true at this time. The key is to remain humble, be open to new information, and use logic and reason to determine the truth. Styles may change, science may change, technology guarantees that it will, but humility, logic, reason, and truth are eternal. These ideas and principles are timeless. You can build a life on them. This is R.J. Regan, May 20th, 2023, in the San Francisco airport. Take care.